Top 25 ISO 27001 Interview Questions and Answers. In today's digital landscape, understanding ISO 27001 is crucial for organizations aiming to enhance their information security management systems. This video presents a curated list of the top 25 interview questions and answers related to ISO 27001. Whether you're preparing for a job interview or seeking to solidify your knowledge, these questions will help you grasp key concepts and best practices in ISO 27001 implementation and compliance. Get ready to enhance your expertise in information security management. 1. What is ISO 27001, and why is it important for organizations? ISO 27001 is an international standard for information security management systems, ISMS, that provides a framework for organizations to manage sensitive information securely. It helps organizations protect their data, ensure compliance with regulations, and build trust with stakeholders. By implementing ISO 27001, organizations can identify risks, establish security controls, and continuously improve their information security practices. This standard is crucial for mitigating risks related to data breaches, enhancing reputation, and achieving business objectives in a secure manner. 2. Can you explain the main objective of an information security management system, ISMS? An information security management system, ISMS, aims to establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve an organization's information security. It provides a systematic approach to managing sensitive information, ensuring its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The ISMS framework helps organizations identify risks, assess threats, and implement appropriate controls. By integrating security into the organization's processes and culture, an ISMS fosters a proactive security environment, ultimately protecting valuable data and supporting compliance with regulations and standards. 3. What are the key components or sections of ISO 27001? ISO 27001 consists of several key components, including the context of the organization, leadership and commitment, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, and improvement. The standard emphasizes establishing an information security management system, ISMS, that is tailored to the specific needs of an organization. It incorporates risk assessment and treatment, the definition of security controls, and ongoing monitoring and review processes. Each section plays a vital role in ensuring that information security is systematically managed and aligned with the organization's objectives. 4. What is the purpose of an internal audit in ISO 27001 implementation? An internal audit serves as a critical mechanism for assessing the effectiveness of an information security management system, ISMS. It identifies areas of non-compliance with ISO 27001 standards, evaluates the adequacy of implemented controls, and ensures that security policies are being followed. The audit process also fosters continual improvement by highlighting weaknesses and suggesting corrective actions. By conducting regular internal audits, organizations can ensure that their ISMS remains aligned with business objectives, effectively mitigating risks and enhancing overall security posture. 5. Can you explain the Plan Do Check Act, PDCA, cycle in ISO 27001? The Plan Do Check Act, PDCA, cycle is a fundamental management framework used in ISO 27001 for continuous improvement of an information security management system, ISMS. Plan. Identify security risks and establish objectives and processes to mitigate them. Develop a risk assessment and treatment plan. Do. Implement the planned processes and controls. This involves executing the risk treatment plan, training staff, and deploying security measures. Check. Monitor and measure the effectiveness of the ISMS, conduct audits and reviews to identify areas for improvement. Act. Based on the findings from the check phase, take corrective actions and enhance the ISMS to address identified weaknesses. This ensures the ISMS remains relevant and effective. 6. How do you conduct a risk assessment as part of ISO 27001? Conducting a risk assessment in ISO 27001 involves several key steps. First, identify assets within the organization and their value. Next, recognize potential threats and vulnerabilities that could impact these assets. Assess the likelihood and impact of each risk, considering existing controls. This assessment leads to determining the risk level, which helps prioritize risks that need to be addressed. Finally, document the findings clearly, allowing for informed decision-making regarding risk treatment options, ensuring alignment with the organization's objectives and compliance requirements. 7. What is a risk treatment plan, RTP, and why is it important? A risk treatment plan, RTP, outlines how an organization intends to manage identified risks to meet its risk management objectives. It specifies the selected risk treatment options, the responsibilities for implementation, timelines, and resources required. An RTP is essential because it provides a structured approach to mitigate risks, ensuring that security measures are effectively aligned with business goals. By clearly documenting the treatment strategies, organizations can prioritize actions, monitor progress, and demonstrate due diligence in their risk management efforts. 8. How do you handle the confidentiality of sensitive audit findings? Handling the confidentiality of sensitive audit findings requires a structured approach. First, findings should be classified based on their sensitivity level, ensuring only authorized personnel have access. Next, establish clear protocols for sharing information, including secure communication methods. Regular training on confidentiality principles is essential for all staff involved in the audit process. Lastly, maintain documentation that outlines confidentiality measures and ensure that audit reports are stored securely, limiting visibility to necessary stakeholders only. This practice builds trust and protects sensitive information. 9. What are the key factors when selecting security controls in an ISMS? When selecting security controls in an ISMS, several key factors must be considered. First, the identified risks and vulnerabilities should guide the selection process, ensuring that controls effectively mitigate these threats. Second, regulatory requirements and compliance obligations must be taken into account, as organizations need to adhere to industry standards. Third, the organization-specific context, including its size, industry, and operational environment, plays a significant role in control selection. Finally, cost-effectiveness and the ability to integrate with existing systems should also influence the decision-making process. These factors collectively help ensure a robust security posture. 10. How do you audit mobile devices with ISMS? Auditing mobile devices within an ISMS involves several key steps. First, establish a clear policy outlining acceptable use and security measures for mobile devices. Next, inventory all mobile devices, assessing their compliance with the established policy. Conduct regular security assessments, including vulnerability scans and configuration checks. Review access controls and ensure that data encryption is enforced. Additionally, verify that mobile device management (MDM) solutions are effectively implemented. Finally, provide training and awareness programs for users on security practices related to mobile device usage. 11. What is the purpose of a security policy in ISO 27001? A security policy in ISO 27001 serves as a foundational document that outlines an organization's approach to managing information security. It establishes the framework for security objectives, defines roles and responsibilities, and sets the tone for the organization's security culture. This policy helps ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements while providing guidance on risk management practices. It also communicates the organization's commitment to safeguarding sensitive information, guiding employees in their security responsibilities, and facilitating effective incident response. 12. How do you evaluate the security of outsourced services? Evaluating the security of outsourced services involves several critical steps. First, conduct a thorough risk assessment to identify potential vulnerabilities associated with the third-party provider. This includes reviewing their security policies, procedures, and compliance with relevant standards such as ISO 27001. Next, assess their incident response capabilities and ensure they have adequate measures in place for data protection and breach notification. Additionally, regular audits and performance reviews should be established to monitor compliance and effectiveness of security controls. Establishing clear contractual obligations can further strengthen security assurance. 13. How do you approach auditing third-party service providers? Auditing third-party service providers involves several key steps. First, establish clear communication with the provider to understand their processes and security measures. Review their compliance with relevant regulations and standards, including ISO 27001. Conduct risk assessments to identify potential vulnerabilities associated with their services. Evaluate their security controls, incident response capabilities, and data protection measures. Finally, ensure that the findings are documented thoroughly and discussed with the provider for transparency and improvement opportunities. Regular follow-ups and reassessments are crucial to maintaining security. 14. How do you handle an incooperative or hostile auditee during an audit? When faced with an incooperative or hostile auditee during an audit, it's essential to remain calm and professional. First, establish clear communication by explaining the audit's purpose and how it benefits the organization. Active listening is crucial. Allow the auditee to express concerns or frustrations. Building rapport can help ease tensions. Employing a collaborative approach may encourage cooperation. If hostility persists, document the behavior and continue the audit as planned while maintaining objectivity. Engaging management may be necessary if the situation does not improve. 15. What are the key considerations when auditing data encryption practices? Data encryption practices should be evaluated based on several critical factors. First, assess the encryption algorithms used. They must be industry standard and regularly updated to counter emerging threats. Next, examine key management practices, ensuring that keys are generated, stored, and destroyed securely. Additionally, verify that encryption is applied consistently across all sensitive data in transit and at rest. Compliance with relevant regulations and standards is essential, as is the documentation of encryption policies and procedures. Lastly, consider the organization's ability to manage encryption in a way that supports business operations without introducing significant risks. 16. How do you assess the adequacy of an organization's security awareness training? Assessing the adequacy of an organization's security awareness training involves several key steps. First, review training materials to ensure they cover relevant topics such as phishing, password security, and data protection. Conduct surveys or interviews with employees to gauge their understanding and retention of the information presented. Additionally, evaluate participation rates and completion statistics. Testing employees through simulated phishing attacks or quizzes can provide insights into the effectiveness of training. Finally, regularly updating training content based on emerging threats ensures ongoing relevance and effectiveness. 17. What is the significance of monitoring and logging security incidents? Monitoring and logging security incidents are crucial for enhancing an organization's security posture. They provide real-time visibility into potential threats and vulnerabilities, enabling prompt response actions. By systematically recording incidents, organizations can analyze trends, identify recurring issues, and improve their incident response strategies. This practice also supports compliance with regulatory requirements and helps in forensic investigations when breaches occur. Effective monitoring allows organizations to learn from past incidents, thus strengthening their defenses against future attacks. 18. What is the role of a business impact analysis, BIA, in ISO 27001? A business impact analysis, BIA, serves a critical function within ISO 27001 by identifying and evaluating the potential effects of disruptions on business operations. It helps organizations understand the impact of various risks on key processes and assets, facilitating informed decision-making regarding risk management and prioritization of resources. The BIA informs the development of appropriate risk treatment strategies, ensuring that critical business functions can continue or recover swiftly during incidents. By providing insight into dependencies and recovery time objectives, a BIA enhances the resilience of the Information Security Management System, ISMS. 19. How do you evaluate an organization's business continuity and disaster recovery plans? To evaluate an organization's business continuity and disaster recovery plans, begin by reviewing the documented plans for clarity and completeness. Assess alignment with ISO 27001 requirements and industry best practices. Conduct interviews with key personnel to understand their roles and responsibilities during incidents. Test the plans through simulations or tabletop exercises to identify gaps and areas for improvement. Verify that plans are regularly updated and communicated across the organization. Finally, check for integration with other management systems, ensuring a holistic approach to risk management. 20. How do you assess the effectiveness of an incident response plan during an audit? Assessing the effectiveness of an incident response plan during an audit involves several critical steps. First, review documentation to ensure the plan is comprehensive and aligns with regulatory requirements. Next, conduct interviews with key personnel to gauge their understanding of the plan and their roles during an incident. Simulate incident scenarios to evaluate the response team's performance and identify areas for improvement. Lastly, analyze past incidents and responses to determine if lessons learned are integrated into the plan for future enhancements. Regular testing and updates are essential for maintaining effectiveness. 21. How do you ensure that an ISMS aligns with an organization's business objectives and risk appetite? To ensure that an ISMS aligns with an organization's business objectives and risk appetite, it is crucial to engage stakeholders from various departments to understand their goals and risk tolerance levels. Conducting a thorough risk assessment helps identify potential threats and vulnerabilities relevant to business operations. Regular reviews of the ISMS against organizational goals ensure that security measures adapt to changing business strategies. Additionally, integrating security practices into business processes fosters a culture of security awareness, ensuring that security efforts support rather than hinder organizational objectives. 22. What are the latest trends in information security you consider during ISO 27001 audits? Recent trends in information security that are essential during ISO 27001 audits include the rise of zero trust architecture, which emphasizes strict identity verification for every user and device. Organizations are also increasingly focusing on cloud security, particularly with the growing reliance on cloud services. The adoption of artificial intelligence and machine learning for threat detection and response is notable. Additionally, compliance with data privacy regulations, such as GDPR and CCPA, remains critical. Lastly, awareness of supply chain security risks has become a priority, reflecting the interconnected nature of modern organizations. 23. What are best practices for documenting and reporting audit findings to management? When documenting and reporting audit findings, clarity and precision are essential. Begin by categorizing findings based on severity and impact, ensuring that critical issues are prioritized. Use clear language, avoiding jargon, to ensure all stakeholders understand the implications. Include actionable recommendations alongside each finding, detailing steps for remediation. Utilize visual aids, such as charts or graphs, to present data effectively. Regularly communicate with management throughout the audit process, providing updates on findings. Finally, ensure documentation is accessible for future reference and follow-ups. 24. Describe the importance of audit trail reviews in ISO 27001 audits and how you conduct them. Audit trail reviews play a crucial role in ISO 27001 audits as they provide a detailed record of all transactions and access to sensitive information. This transparency helps in identifying unauthorized activities and ensuring compliance with security policies. To conduct an audit trail review, start by collecting logs from various systems, focusing on critical areas such as access control and data handling. Analyze these logs for anomalies or patterns indicating potential security breaches. Regular reviews help maintain accountability and support the continuous improvement of the Information Security Management System, ISMS. 25. How do you perform security testing and evaluation in the context of ISO 27001? Security testing and evaluation within the context of ISO 27001 involves a structured approach to identify vulnerabilities and assess the effectiveness of security controls. It typically includes penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, and security audits. The first step is to define the scope, ensuring that all critical assets are covered. Then, tools and techniques are used to simulate attacks and assess the resilience of the Information Security Management System, ISMS. Results are documented, and any identified weaknesses are prioritized for remediation, aligning with the risk treatment plan to enhance the organization's security posture. In this video, we have explored the top 25 ISO 27001 interview questions and answers that can help you prepare effectively for your next interview. Understanding these key concepts not only boosts your confidence but also enhances your knowledge of information security management systems. Remember, having a solid grasp of ISO 27001 can set you apart from other candidates. If you found this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful videos. Your support helps us create more valuable content for you.